Alright everybody, welcome to episode 347 of the Craftverse series, and today I have some progress to report. We're also going to be adding in another elevator around here. You'll notice I moved that ender chest over just a block because I'm going to be hiding my next elevator inside the frog. It's going to be a nice little hidden passageway out of the depths to where people might be meeting up in the future if this was to be a world download, or just for convenience, because I really don't want it to be in my base, so we're just going to go ahead and put it there. But if we come up here, I have completed all of these elevators. See, this is the only one that comes up. You'll notice that I cannot go down this stream of water. However, I can go down this one. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and showcase the end results of the first one. What we want to do is turn around so that the lights are behind us. And when we get to the bottom, you'll notice I have this set up here. This is what I'm going to be doing for the deep slate layers. I have the chiseled deep slate block, and I have some buttons for the exit of the down elevators. And if I come all the way to the other side here, I have these gates for the up. So if I decide that I don't want something to go up in this particular direction, I can potentially close at least one of them and prevent things from getting up behind me. Or if I'm working down here and I end up making a spawnable platform and I don't want things shooting up onto the main area, I can at least protect it that way. So if I come up here, we end up on the other side. Nice vantage point of the main island and a little bit of the progress that's over here. This one is now perfectly situated to take us down to 0. And the way I have it set up is the stone brick goes all the way down to 0, and anything below stone brick is deep slate brick. This one, I'm not doing the buttons on these, at least not currently. I probably could, because there's really no harm in not. So if I break this button, break you, not the block. I think the block is on. Button. Yeah, I can come down. Nothing is going to be able to go up this tube, so it's fine. Coming up, I can still block it off. So we're going to leave those. But we can hijack the same tube we were just using to get out. I don't have another one that goes down, so we're just going to rock with what we have there. But I do have one more cool thing to show you by going down the same tube. So we're going to go back down this one. Speed this up just a bit. This one that only ever goes down to the bottom of the world, I just went ahead and did full deep slate. But you guys saw that last episode. So, now that we're down here, if we go all the way to the end of this hallway, yeah, there it is. You'll see another set of deep slate brick and chiseled deep slate. This is another way that's going to come up. So I actually need this to go out like that. And when we go up to the top of this, you'll see there is an opening right here. And we end up inside the brewing station. It also gives it a little bubbling cauldron effect without actually being a cauldron. So I thought that was kind of cool, and we're going to run with that. And if I can find a couple of nooks and crannies that might give a nice aesthetic choice like that across the map, I'm going to use those to connect to the mining at -55. Eventually, I'm going to have a cool design down there. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be at this time, but we'll figure it out. However, you might hear there are some ghast sounds coming from this way, because I finally got my happy ghasts in, which took about an hour to get both sets in, but they are color-coded properly. Red, blue, and yellow specifically. Yellow, for some reason, is enjoying being lower than the other two. I have the same setup on the other Ghast station, but I'm not sure what's causing all of my lag, so I may have to figure that out. However, if we go all the way down here, I'm not so sure I want to put one in these. It might be interesting, but at the same time, not quite so safe. We'll see. Here's my other gas station. I need to figure out some thinner builds to stick in here. This one was perfectly sized, and I actually have the gas, and I'm getting a little bit better at maneuvering with them, so that's a plus. Still like the way that portal design looks, and we had a little bit of lag spike right there. I'm thinking I might mess around with this mountain soon, but my plan at current is to go ahead and add in that other elevator inside the frog. So we're going to go down, fighting the lag. Oh, this lag is terrible. And this is on PC. This isn't even on Switch. I guarantee you I would have been kicked if it was on the Switch. Okay. Game, can we focus up, please? Can we do the thing? With the stuff and the whatnot? I just need to make it to the frog. Le frog. Hello, Le frog. So this actually is just deep enough to pop these out and not affect anything on that side. We're going to go ahead and pop these in here. And since I won't need these for a bit, we're going to pop those over there. And this is just purely going to go down the deep slate layer. But before I get too far, I have to remember to dig this up. And let's see. I'm probably going to drown if I don't do this right now. What I'm going to have to do, at least for this point. It's fine. That's not going to be enough. I got to do that. Okay. I need to make sure there's no water in here. There we go. So now I don't need this. We can swap that out for the proper utensil. Okay. Now that we are below the mud layer, we can afford to pop this piece of mud out and start here. This is going to be our light pillar that I'm going to bring all the way down to -55. Should probably make sure to eat something. I hear unfriendlies, and I don't need to explode. Fun fact, while I was digging out the first up tunnel, I keep calling it a tunnel, elevator, I did actually explode. A creeper decided to lend me a hand with the mining. I tried to dig past him, he fell in my hole, and decided to go kaboom. It was unpleasant, but I didn't die, as you can tell by my extensive levels. There's negative 55, and we can start putting this pillar in. Hippity hoppity, this light pillar is my property. Luckily, the area that I have to dig through currently is a little bit better lit up than the other caves that I've ended up opening a hole into. So it's only a minor inconvenience. There's going to be a lot of these peppering the depths. I don't want to put it in every build, but I do want to have access to the majority of my land area. So we're going to have this go here. Okay. Then I don't need those anymore. Put you away, actually can't preemptively do that yet. So I'm just going to put these in here so they're not taking up space. And then I need to grab out some stone brick for when I get there. That ought to be plenty. Alright. That. Skits. Alright, fine, we'll use the mud. Okay. Going to partially do this as I get my way down. Going to be leaving one side undone. Can reach the rest of that. Dang it. Get out. Give me the stone. Thank you. Stop it. Good. Water is disappearing. That's what I want to see. Alright, we are good to now dig further in. This is the little hidey hole that used to be fully exposed before I put this pond structure above me in. It's probably part of the lag issue, not fully sure. If I do... Nope. That blocks off a little bit of it. So I don't need it flowing all the way up here. Then there's more that's coming from further up, which it's not enough lit for me to bother with, so. Just going to continue on our little track here. Okay. As long as I don't have any water coming into the hole, we're fine. Now I shouldn't have as many risks of things wandering in here. So I don't need a creeper coming in and messing my day up again. Skellies I can handle. They don't explode. You imagine if there was a TNT era? That would be broken in PvP matches and absolutely spammed, and there would probably be a lot more Link cosplay going on in the Minecraft community. He actually has explosive arrows in many of the renditions of the games. Not every rendition, but most of them. We're still in the above zero range, so that's why we're still using the stone brick. Trying to make better use of my time. By simply doing this as I go down. Okay. Okay. This means I don't have to worry as much about finding a specific location to exit the depths from. Still only going to have the one entrance to the depths. Okay. Still above zero, but just barely. So we can do 1, 2, 2, and that is the last that I will need of stone brick. Until I get to this pillar right here. But for right now, we could switch to using deep slate brick. Oh, boy. That's going to be a fall. Yep. Uh-huh. Luckily, there shouldn't be hardly any wildlife down here to stress about. Keyword shouldn't be. You know what? Let's take a quick look. There are some dark spots, but most of it is lit up by torches. Yeah, we're fine. Oh. Still one. I hear you, Mr. Zomber. We're almost there, guys. Don't worry. It'll be a lot faster going back up. I've had no. Have we tried no? No sounds good. Okay. We're at negative 22. Supposedly they made it so regular deep slate that you silk touch up can actually be cut in a stone cutter, and that is a change that I have been really wanting. Because I tend to forget that I have the silk touch pick in my hotbar instead of the fortune pick. And that just doesn't work out very well. For the longest time, the only thing that was useful about standard run-of-the-mill cave deep slate was being able to put it back if you were hiding from somebody or you wanted it to make it look like you didn't make a mistake or poke into a wall. But even then, you had to angle it right. Because of all the blocks in Minecraft, to have multiple different angles for the sides, they decided to give that property to one of the previously most useless blocks in the game. Okay, so now we pop that out and we leave that popped. Because now we do this. Yep, that. Boop. Boop. Okay, I'm gonna have to poke out a little bit. So I want you facing the correct direction the first time. Now we do this. At least until I get to 0, and then I switch back to using stone brick. Next up, I gotta get a water bucket. Oh boy. I'm gonna get knocked off of this little pillar, aren't I? Okay, you're behind this wall. You're not up there yet. That's fine. Don't follow me. Okay, we're good. We passed the... Wait. We're good until I made a fatal error. Here we go. Now we're good. Now I just bring this up to the frog. Or as close to the frog as I can get, because I am going to have to pillar a little inward due to the water. Here we go. Yeah, I gotta go up there. So we're going to cheese by doing this. Actually, oh, okay. I would prefer you not be deep slate anyway. I want you to continue the pattern of being this. It's not quite where I meant to put you, but that's fine for the moment. There we go. Got it figured out. So we put you there, and for the cheese. Actually need those. Yeah, that ought to be enough. Nope, no reason to waste a block. Should all be water sources, right? Yeah, okay. That already has the buttons, and I can target that block, which is what I actually want to do. So put you up there, then go up, break that ore block, let the water flow out, and now we wait. Because I do not wish to die. I don't need sea lantern. Stone brick. We can start putting this stuff away. By the time I get down there, we'll be fine. Okay. You go up there. Not you. You stay. You go. Now I grab out some more fireworks. Not that I'm going to be using them for this particular job, but having them for when I'm ready to leave is always a good thing. Oh, right. So now I have to wait some more. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that to go all the way down, I need to go grab a soul... No? Yes, soul sand. Forgot which way I was trying to make that particular elevator for a second. So let's go grab the soul sand from the storage depot. When I decided to make that stable from the original Awkward Kingdom spawn, I did not for a second think it was going to end up being where I spend most of my time going in and out. But you know, I'm glad that I put it there, and I'm glad it's so useful. So we do that. This is the only other one that I can think of that I really need at the moment. I'll have to check around and see what else would be a good candidate for an elevator. On the plus side, at least the one that's in the farmhouse off in that direction, I could put a trapdoor above it and turn it into a little ender pearl stasis chamber if I so chose. These, not so much, they're fully encased, but at the same time, they are still very useful. Okay, so next up is the bit that I spared you from last episode. And then before I actually put the soul sand in, I have to dig out the tunnel that brings me to the depths, because I'm not quite sure what that exit's going to look like from here. Two stacks. Okay. So now we go down one more time. This will be the last time you can ever go down in this particular drop, because it's meant to be an up. We'll let that simmer for a moment. Yeah, you're gonna need some light. What's funny, looking at the render for what you guys are seeing, I could see a heck of a lot brighter than I can on my actual gameplay monitor. So I can actually see what blocks I'm breaking. There we are. Perfect. So now, so I don't get things creepy crawlying their way around, I'm going to pop some of these. So I don't need all of them. 6 may be enough. It's not that long of a hallway. But I don't need spawns, so... Correction, I need about 3 more. But that's fine, because these will do for that as well. And 3. Run down to the elevator shaft. One. Two. Oop. No. The 3. Alright, so now we pop you out and we put the soul sand and then we go whee all the way up to the top. And we say hi to Mr. Frog. Surprised all of that actually went to the top. So now we have a sneaky little elevator right here. Nice. Okay. That is a very successful episode, I think. Funnily enough, when I removed all of the stuff from right here, it was dark enough to spawn things, and while I was waiting for my ghasts, which I was using that little pond inside Death's Tribute Pond to spawn them, I was just sitting there next to it staring at them going, did the state change? Did the state change? Did the state change? And while I was sitting there waiting for them, apparently a zombie horse rider spawned over here. And while I'm just sitting here putting the lead on them when they finally do pop out of the water, I'm like, yay, I have my little happy ghasts. I get stabbed. Ow. Excuse me? Don't stab the ghasts. No, bad. So I had to fight that off. That would have been a fun moment to have on camera, but sadly it takes 20 full minutes to hydrate the ghast, and I wasn't about to sit through that for 20 minutes. It's not fun to watch. I also wanted to be here when they did actually pop out of the water instead of being somewhere underground, fiddling with kelp. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching, entertaining my shenanigans, and see you next episode for more of them. Figure out what the heck I'm doing for that episode. Yay, plans! Have a good rest of your day, everybody. I'm such a weeb sometimes.